fact well known that when you want to understand the character of a man, you go and examine his background. When you look carefully into his background, you will discover the structural constituents of his personality. You will see what forms his individuality. The background of a man makes the man. The kind of upbringing that a man has constitutes the individuality that is called the man. And this will be demonstrated by his actions and deeds in society. Let's listen to a young man, Olauto, and what he feels about his father.
The past 2 days I've been able to think and appreciate my father and the example he sets for a lot of Nigerians. And it's been rather very interesting. Number one, he's a man who's faced a lot of hardship. Number two, he's a man who, despite that hardship, he has always strived in order to just do what's best. Number one, for himself, and number two, for his family. He's a very selfless man at the end of the day. Let me share with you the reasons why I'm inspired by him, my father, as just such a great role model. One thing he does is he always tries to factor in the abstract. He always tries to factor things that are not always so obvious. When he overcomes a certain obstacle which people want to see, he also doesn't basically state that it is of his own doing. It's more of he is fortunate. That's how it is. So he does not have an ego like that. That is one of the reasons, very complex I know, why I appreciate my father and I'm inspired by him. In this short documentary, I hope you can appreciate and enjoy the works of my father, Dr. Wale Babalaki.
As you have observed, I am a product of my upbringing, my environment, and philosophy that I inherited and later absorbed as right. My father was and is still the community leader here in Bono, and he is benevolent to everybody, irrespective of their faith. He is supportive of all the religious sects, whether it is Islam or Christianity. He preaches goodness and character, and he believes very strongly that those are the underlying philosophies of this faith. I am of the opinion that Nigerians can live in harmony, irrespective of their faith, and that those who are using their faith to oppress others are not being fair to the community and the country as a whole. We've always celebrated Salah with our father, not because he was a father alone, because he provided first-rate leadership for his children, and he was completely selfless in bringing us up. Whatever he had, he made available to us as long as we were deserving. He was not one to spoil children at all. He was very strict. But whatever you were entitled to in terms of what you expect from a parent, you got. You never got extras, but he made sure that he delivered on his responsibility. And I believe he has passed on that culture to all of us. And we are all struggling hard to keep the flag flying. We're happy to come to him today at over 92 and he's still in good health, still able to come and spend time with us. He'll be here in the next 2 hours to have lunch with us. May God continue to keep him and keep all his children, keep all his relatives, and continue to bless him. Thank you.
You show care for the elderly in a special way. How do you want to pass this on to your own children? Because I can see them around you.
Yes, that's a very interesting topic. You saw my son with me today. Throughout, since we came yesterday, what I've been telling him is that be observant, learn to see how it is done, because this was how I was taught.
Papa came out today. He went on and, performed the normal sacrificial lamb.
Yes.
How did you feel standing around your father?
God has been very good to him. He's not only 92, he's 92 without a walking stick. He's 92 still with a very good appetite. He's 92 still enjoying everything. My father still takes cake, Maltina, Coca-Cola at 92. So I think God has been just kind to him. We also pray for God to be kind to us.
Coming into Osun State, what one sees, it's on our void. You will just say it. It's so registered, clustered there in the sky.
Yeah.
Babalakin. That is symbolic.
Yes.
It speaks volumes to anyone coming into Osun State.
Yes.
You mentioned a few minutes ago that you did that specifically for your father.
Yes. As I've said at every forum, my father was good to me. And it was in later life that I realized he was very good to me. Because he was very strict on me. He was a disciplinarian. In today's world, the children will call it child abuse. Because if I did anything wrong, he smacked me. And he smacked me in a manner that I will remember.
But today to be child abuse?
Today. And he also spoke to me in a way that most of the phrases are still in my memory till tomorrow. And I remember one of his phrases was that if you don't succeed, it will be due to lack of effort from me. And he made the effort. And in later life, I didn't realize that that discipline was my advantage over my contemporaries. The fact that I had a father I couldn't cry to, I couldn't go to meet with anything frivolous, strengthened me and created me the way I am today. But in later life, when he saw that I could manage resources, on the eve of my 24th birthday, my father gave me his only property abroad, which he bought as a student of law. He gave you to me and said to my mom, I've given it to him. I believe he's going to lose it. And if he does, well, I've given him his inheritance. But if he doesn't and it helps him to become very successful, then my gamble has worked. And his gamble worked. So I believe that whatever I'm doing to him, I owe it to him.
MMA 2 is a laudable testimony to this.
Yeah.
And your service at present, are you doing something with the University Commission?
Yes, I am. You see, we're all stakeholders in the reform of education. Somewhere during the military regime, around after 1985, education was sidelined and in the process destroyed. We are seeking to rebuild it now, to go back to those fundamentals you used to know. So, of course, there will be resistance, because most people don't even know about it. They don't know about the era when UCH was rated the 4th hospital in the Commonwealth. They don't know about the era when Dons from UCH left UCH on Friday and started working in London on Monday. They don't know about the quality of University of Ibadan and all these other universities. So we are seeking to begin the process of returning to that stage. Of course there will be resistance, but they know that we're acting in good faith and we're putting all the issues on the table. It's for them to respond.
Moving on from Papa's domain in Bongon, the proceedings now take us to Wale's abode in Lagos. And young Olautan is there and too eager to show us this lovely art space that he is very sentimental about.
Good afternoon. Here is a very special art space created by my father, something I'm very proud of. It just shows my siblings who I love dearly. From here, this is my eldest Ronke, the eldest one of us. This is Aisha, the middle child. And that's me right there. I was much younger. It was
The spirit, the mood of events at Wale's abode in Lagos is succinctly summarized by Mr. Gbangbala, who is a close friend of the family.
I feel very excited to be here tonight. Usually Dr. Babalakin has a tradition of bringing friends and acquaintances to a garden like this at every festival of Ilea. And so it's always a pleasure to be here with him and to felicitate with his friends and associates. Usually it's a very camaraderie atmosphere, people exchanging views about politics, social events, economic, and so usually it's a very exciting time to come here, and it's been a very wonderful time.
And you know, true to what you said, Papa Justice Bola Babalakin does in Bongon. Do you know about that?
Yes,
I want you to make one or two comments on that.
So Babalakin has been a real chip of the old block. He's been able to demonstrate that it's good to have a good pedigree. Justice Babalakin, his father, is a respected Nigerian, respected jurist, community leader, is Islamic scholar of high repute. And Dr. Babalakin has been able to borrow a big leaf from his father in terms of drawing a crowd of friends around himself and commanding that kind of loyalty of old friends. I happen to be a very old friend of his, way back from A-level days, over 40 years ago. And somehow or the other, we've just been stuck to one another, coming all the time to gather with him at each festive period. So that's all I have to say.
Mr. Gbangbala, your final words on the person, the character known as Wale Babalakin.
Wale Babalakin is a phenomenon. He's a highly intelligent, scholarly individual. Very generous, very nice, good person. He's someone I have a lot of regard for. And for instance, tonight I had other things I wanted to do, but I said I just had to be here. I needed to show him that I'm a true friend of his because he's been someone who doesn't leave his friends. Anytime his friends have issues, he's there to support them. So I think he's someone that the country is lucky to have, and I'm really very proud of him.
Your prayer for him?
Yes. I pray that God will give him a long life to enjoy the fruits of his labor. He's labored over people. Dr. Babalakin has labored over people. I can't tell you the number of people he has blessed in terms of getting involved in their lives anytime they're in rough edges, trying to smooth their rough edges out. So I pray that God will give him long life to enjoy the fruits of his labor over his businesses and over his children and over his career. Thank you.